Hello and welcome. I'm Relinda Thomas, and I'm going to help you enter an assessment plan in TaskStream. First, we'll go to Assessment Plan. Next, we'll click the Checkout button. When you check out an area, please remember that you're the only one who can work in that section at that time, so when you're done, please remember to check it back in. At this time, we have two options to enter an assessment plan. We can copy an existing plan that you may have used in a previous year. The only downside is that you may not be able to update some of the things from last year. So you're usually safest to go ahead and create a new assessment plan. We'll click the orange button. And yes, we'll click OK. We really want to do this. Now, if you see a blue screen and then you don't see anything, or a blue bar and don't see anything, don't panic. We just click on the bar and we have a choice to select our outcomes. When we click on the button, we have three options. We can accept what we have, which is nothing right now, and return to the plan. We can create a new set of outcomes, or we can select an existing set of outcomes. This is what we want. We're going to select the outcomes that are in our unit goals for this year. So you'll click Select Existing Set. Now, I've used the College of Arts and Sciences Operational Plan and Assessment Report as an example. In this example, the most recent unit goals would be called Annual Unit Goals. Again, it's just an example. Usually you'd probably have the actual year or academic year stated in your title. If you're not sure which goals you want to include in your assessment plan, you can click on View Set and it'll give you a preview of them so you'll remember. In this case, I'm pretty sure I want annual unit goals, so I'll click Continue. Excellent. These are some sample goals that I created just for this example. Now, here you see a number of goals and a few outcomes, and each one should have a little white box by it. If I check on the box, it'll be included in my assessment plan. Now, if I have a lot of outcomes, then I'll need to check all of those boxes. To make it faster, we can just go up to the top and click Include All. Now all of the outcomes in this goal set will be included. When we're done, we'll click Accept and Return to Plan. Excellent. Now TaskStream has copied over all of the unit goals, including each of the outcomes. Now we have the option to add a new measure, and this is where the plan comes in. For each one of our goals, we have an outcome. For each one of our outcomes, we need to have something that will measure it to make sure that we have indeed achieved that outcome. So we'll click Add New Measure. Now, a measure, again, is just a document, or it may be a test, or it might be a particular activity, something that is used to verify that in fact this outcome has been achieved. And so in this case, the first goal or the first outcome deals with student learning. And so what document do we use that might verify student learning? In our example, we use a document called the Program Assessment Matrix, and each academic program has one. So that's the document that we would use to verify whether or not students in a particular academic program had met their proficiency levels or not. Now, this is our report on student proficiency, so it'll likely be indirect other. And the measure level, let's see, this is beyond the course level. We could choose program level, and in fact that is the right choice. Or you may have some measures that occur at the institutional level. In our case, we're choosing program because we're dealing with student learning in the program areas. Next, we add in a description of that measure. In this example, since we're talking about a document, This is a matrix that's used to report student outcomes in program proficiency. Here's where we also mention what is the target that we're shooting for. What's an acceptable target for this particular outcome? And in this case, I believe we put for our outcome that we were going for 80% student proficiency. So that's going to be our target. Next, we have the implementation plan. When is this going to occur? When can we expect to get this outcome? In this case, it's going to occur during the current academic year, during the fall and spring semesters. You may have specific dates that you want to add in. Finally, we share who are the key or responsible personnel. In this case, since we're talking about learning in the program areas, we may include program faculty, who would actually be the ones to turn in the program assessment matrix. Then again, it may also be the job of the assistant chair. And ultimately, the person responsible is the department chair. Once you have chosen a person or persons as your responsible personnel, you'll click Apply Changes. Excellent. So now we have an assessment plan for the first outcome under the first goal. So look at what this tells you. Here we have a goal for academic quality. We see a specific and measurable outcome. And what are we going to use to measure it? Well, we have this specific document that will give us the answers, will tell us whether or not the students actually met or did not meet that outcome. We have a detailed description of it. We also have a target that lets us know whether or not we've actually met our expectations. We know when it's supposed to occur and who's responsible. If you have any documents, say an example of the matrix itself, you can click on Supporting Attachments to add one of those documents. And that's just an example. Let's add another just as an example. Under degree attainment, we're looking at student retention rates and graduation rates. And so we need a measure for that. In this case, an excellent measure to use would be a report called the Retention Data Dashboard that's put out each year by the Office of Academic Affairs. So I'm going to use this as an example. Feel free to laugh at my typing. So now we have a name or a title for the measure. Now we want to determine what is the measure type. Again, this is a report that indicates the outcomes, so it's indirect other. At what level is this occurring? Now, we could talk about it within the programs. It could be at the institutional level. In this case, our specific outcome is talking about program level retention rates. So we'll use program. Then we'll give it a description. Let's see. I believe in this case we're looking for an 80% student retention rate. Report of retention rate. This is a report of the retention rate that we're hoping to get. And this report comes to us from Academic Affairs. Now with the acceptable target, here's where we would put the percentage rate that we're trying to reach. Certainly we want to add in the implementation plan. When do we expect this to occur? And I'll keep it simple in this case. We want this to occur over the current academic year. We're going to be looking at 1-year retention rates. And then we can put in the key or responsible personnel. And so the responsible party in this case is going to be the department chair. So when we're done and we've checked the spelling, we'll click Apply Changes. Outstanding. Now, once again, we have more details for our plan. We can see a goal, we see a measurable outcome, and now we have a measure that's named, a particular document or report or test or some type of way of verifying whether or not we reached our goal. And then a description to say exactly what it is that this represents, what's the target we're shooting for, when is it going to occur, and who's responsible. Again, if you have any documents that you want to attach as an example to give more information, you can certainly add that here. Great job. Thank you.